some solitude can do your heart some good. And on Detroit's east side, there is a sacred space I think a lot of people don't realize is there. I passed it one time when I was out working. It's over off of Mount Elliott, and it is a beautiful place for so many people. And that is the Solanus Casey Center. You will know it when you drive in the neighborhood because it stands out as a beacon of hope in the neighborhood. And joining us now on the Oakland County Megacast is Father David Preuss with us now. Thank you for being with us.
Glad to be with you.
These are tough times for so many people because of the pandemic and the crisis. What advice and how do you nurture people to keep their faith solid during these trying times?
The challenge that many of us have in life is that we can be easily overcome by external circumstances, and that's why we've created this spirituality center to say, unless you possess yourself, what do you possess? So that we find within us a place of inner calm that allows us to deal with all of the stuff that we have to deal with in our lives. So that's really our goal, and we've been here since 1883, and we've evolved. St. Bonaventure has evolved through these many decades to be able to address what the current problems are, and Lord knows that we've got a lot of things to deal with.
And Father, for those that haven't been to the center, what will they see and experience if they do stop by?
Well, we spent a lot of time thinking about what we wanted to do here, and it really came from our desire to be able to have some kind of place to visit the tomb of Solanus Casey, a holy man. Many people wanted to honor him, but we wanted it to be more than just a shrine. We wanted this to be a place of spiritual journey, so that you come in through a creation garden of St. Francis of Assisi. We are followers of his. Capuchins are an offshoot of the Franciscan community, and that we reflect on our place on earth, with the sun, with the moon. And then as we come into the building, that through Christ we enter into this journey and see some of the contemporaries of our time and their spiritual journey, whether that be Mother Teresa of Calcutta or Martin Luther King Jr., that then seeing that we are on this journey, reflect a little bit on Solanus and his message, and the real story that he is someone who allows us to reflect that greatness is not necessarily in wealth or position. He was the receptionist here. He had no special title, he had no special place, no special power, but he did touch people's lives very effectively. And that's a reminder to us that we're all called to a greatness, and it might not be that we're elected to office or that we have buildings named after it. It might not be any of this stuff, but it is that we relate to each other in ways that are respectful and caring.
Father, for those visiting the center, how is that working right now in the middle of a pandemic when we're supposed to be socially distanced from one another? Because when it comes to faith, we like to be together.
That is a challenge for us as well as for everybody else, that in terms of our services, we follow the protocols of the Archdiocese of Detroit. We are at only a percentage of capacity. We have in our chairs marked off where you can sit. We probably do better than 90% of the church-related things, because we're not just here for Mass and for services. We're here to be an oasis, a place of reflection. And because of that, it's a pretty large building. We ask that you have masks, but there's lots of space. When people come into chapel, even if there's 20 people in chapel, there's plenty of space. So it has not been really problematic. We did have initial problems. We had people who were sick in the community, and we shut down for a couple of weeks. We went through our protocols, and we've been fine since. So we went through initial difficulties. We saw what we needed to do. We reacted to that, and we have been pretty safe. And the latest statistics this week is that the city of Detroit has one of the lowest incidences of COVID of any place in the state. So people have been following, and because of that, our rates have been slow, very low, and none here at the center.
Father, are you still offering the blessing of the sick service at this time?
The blessing of the sick was where we drew the most people on Wednesdays and a smaller one on Sundays. That is the one thing that we thought about for a long time. How can we do this? And we really couldn't come up with a good answer to that. So we don't want to have 300 sick people in a small room. So what we've done is we've told people, we'll put one of the friars on the floor. As people come in, they can ask individually for a blessing. So we're individually praying with people as they come in, and that's worked well. We bless them with the relic of the cross. We pray with them individually. We get to talk to them too and say, you know, you're coming here for prayer. Who are you praying for today? You know, is it for yourself? Is it for a loved one? And this has been, it's been good. And because we do this, we're open 9 to 5, 7 days a week. And because we have so many different hours, it allows us to spend a little bit more time with people individually to pray with them. So get more personal attention now than what you did in the past.
Father David Preuss with us. He's the director of the Solanus Casey Center, joining us today on the Oakland County Megacast. And Father Preuss, this is a place that people go to find to reconnect with their spirituality, to find some sort of solace in the chaos of the world around us through their faith. Is this a place that invites people of all different faiths in for that experience, or is this specific to those that do follow the religious practices within the Archdiocese of Detroit?
The last month there were 7,000 people that came through, and I continue to be amazed at the breadth and diversity of people that come through our doors. Majority from Macomb and Oakland and Wayne counties, but we get people from around the world, around the country, and a diversity. Had a very nice conversation with a Buddhist the other day who came in and talked about her understanding of the Bible. And so we have Muslims that come through. So we have a variety, of course, the whole variety of Protestant denominations. So this has been good because this really is a place where we just don't preach at you, but we give the opportunity for you to reflect and to come in touch with the power of God. And that really, we didn't think this up. This is really continuing the kind of outreach that Solanus Casey had. People came here for decades with problems, and they'd ask that he listen and pray with them. And so that's what we continue to do. And because everybody's got problems, so, and we all need a listening ear, and we all need prayer. So we're able to reach out to a wide variety of people.
And Father, with that, are you seeing new people come to try to make sense of this crazy world that we're living in right now and seeking comfort and solace that maybe wouldn't have done that if we weren't in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis?
I think whenever our world is turned upside down, it gives us an opportunity to rethink what we're doing, where we come from, where we want to go. And it really calls us to expand our humanity, to be able to understand ourselves better, and also to understand some of the challenges that people around us have, and to be able to reach out to people with compassion. And one of the things that we have is between us, there's this symbiotic relationship between the center, which is reflective, and across the street, the Caption Soup Kitchen, where we do direct service for the poor. And to realize that what goes on in our minds needs to go into our spirits, and then our hands need to be at work. So that these things are not just something that's in our head, but that we come to be of service. And that is what God calls us to. God calls us to use our capabilities, our minds, our reflective abilities, our praise of Him, our thanksgiving, and our being able to reach out to our brothers and sisters around us locally, and that we're also aware of people around the world. And that's we're reminded of that here because one of the things that was beneficial from this lockdown is that then we went online. So here we are on TV, and so we do every morning our morning mass, and we do our blessing of the sick. We have our wonderful IT people and our videographers that come and share us with people throughout the world. And so before, I might have 25 people in church for Mass in the morning. Now I have 1,000 people, and some of them are in New Zealand or in the Philippines, or, that we have become open to all the world. So an unexpected blessing from all of this.
And do you think you'll continue that post-pandemic?
As I like to say, people vote with their feet, or in this case, with their fingers. As long as our numbers stay up, we'll continue to do it. I believe that we probably will, because one of the things that we uncovered is that there's a lot of former Michiganders who are now spread throughout the country, who have connection here, who love Solanus, who maybe had an uncle or a relative that was cured here. And so they're very happy to be able to connect with us online.
So, Father, I know that the center is a very spacious center and you have a lot of space there, but with you just being open 9 to 5, do people need to make appointments to come, or are you limiting how many people enter the center at any given time?
That's never been a problem. We monitored that, and initially for the Sunday Mass, we took reservations, but we've never met our maximum number yet. It is large space, and because of that, we haven't had a problem. And because we have long hours and it's 7 days a week, I think if it was 1 or 2 or 3 services a week, we might be problematic, but it hasn't been problematic.
For those who maybe have never visited the center, they're on the east side of Detroit, and they want to learn more, how can they do that?
Maybe you want to look online at Solanus Casey Center. Look that up. You can find out what we have, what services we have. Can shop online at our gift shop. So if not, but anyway, you can come down. We're just a couple blocks off of Jefferson. So we're at Mount Elliott and Kercheval. And so it's relatively easy to get here.
And lastly,
although I'd warn people, the Mount Elliott exit is closed presently, so you can't get off of 94 at Mount Elliott. You'll need to get off at Van Dyke, or come in on 375 and get off at Lafayette and come up Lafayette to Mount Elliott.
Father, quickly before we let you go, any advice that you want to give to our listeners and viewers out there who continue to struggle with isolation or just those feelings of being alone as this COVID-19 crisis wears on?
I am very much aware that this is a problem, and I have an older brother that's in a nursing home and is just really struggling emotionally because of the isolation. Use your telephone, use Zoom, use whatever that you can so that you keep some kind of conversation going. And I think for your viewers, think of those who are isolated and reach out to them. You might not be able to visit them, but talk to them. It really becomes problematic when we feel that no one cares. And with some of the people that I know, they have trouble calling out. They may not be able to do that easily. So get in contact with someone. Give them some encouragement. Say a prayer with them. I think we're called to express our humanity in new ways during this crisis.
Well, Father, we so appreciate having you with us here on the Oakland County Megacast. Thank you for your time. And again, the center is open 9 to 5, 7 days a week. It is on Mount Elliott on Detroit's east side.